We sin reading, but we also sin not reading my newest thriller novel, When the Corn is Waist Hot. Now, you may be wondering what the f this book is about, and why you want it in your life. So I'm teaming up with amazing people to talk about it, like these guys. So here's your don't take my word for it, take their word for it cliche. And seriously, thanks for all your support and for claiming your copy of my book today.
It's Lee. Lee is here.
The movie is set in China, but everyone speaks English.
Come with me to Beijing.
Yes, sold. He tells her no because he has to go to his master's grave and pray for forgiveness, and I don't know much about how sins and forgiveness work in this culture, but I do know how they work in film, and not going with Michelle Yeoh to Peking is a sin. This is chaos. I wouldn't last 3 minutes in here before a full-blown panic attack hit me like, oh, look, clowns. Dude doesn't want the sword, says he's not worthy, but she pushes by encouraging him to help Lee leave behind his troubled past and start anew by accepting a sword that has killed hundreds of people and is now haunting Lee. That sounds dangerous, even if I am Lee's friend and want to help him. That sword is bad juju.
Governor Yu is here, sir.
It's only been 6.5 minutes, but so far 50% of this movie is people telling other people that someone has arrived. It's happened 3 times already.
Yes, come more often. And to start with, you're going to spend the night.
Considering he's about to say he thinks of Shulin as his daughter, that spend the night command sounded way creepier than it was probably intended, but creepy it still sounds. She says, in the West, some soldiers stayed with us and let me play with their weapons, and, phrasing?
I wouldn't give up something like that in a million years. It is a long story.
Great! Skip! It's curious that the friend who doesn't want to accept Lee's magic sword already has a place set up for it in his study.
A sword by itself doesn't rule. A sword lives through skillful handling.
This expression was the guns don't kill people, people kill people of the 19th century. Take that, pottery! Thinking this equals washing your hands.
Just great, Charlene. Just great. You burned the fucking TV dinners. I wouldn't burn them if you only know how to make them yourself, you lazy prick. What the hell would I need you for, Charlene? Oh, no!
This is so obviously the governor's daughter, I wonder why she wears a veil at all. Clark Kent looks less like Superman than this looks like the governor's daughter. God damn. Eavesdropping.
Look, he's taking the sword! After him!
Assuming your thief's gender. The f*** are these lanterns on poles supposed to be doing? They don't provide much light to the rooftop for a hiding person to be discovered, but also, even if they pass over a lying down perpetrator, who would even see it? They don't have dudes on ladders up here looking down. It's kinda neat they built primitive flashlight extenders, but they are highly impractical. Ah, I see, it's one of those kinds of kung fu movies. Man, if I could float run, I might never drive my car again. Also, isn't it weird that none of the citizens of Peking are awake right now? They just all went to bed at 8 p.m. and thus there was no one in this huge city to witness this except that one security guard who was going to get fired. Like Modest Mouse, this fight scene floats on for some time. Magnets! How do they work? She intercepts the poison dart, watches her target climb the wall, looks at the dart and decides, I'm tired. I mean, she could easily have caught up to homegirl who stole the sword. How is this weapon practical? There are a number of curved blades, sure, but the metal opposite where the hand goes is sharpened down to a blade itself, even though it can only cut the holder of the weapon. Who the f*** designed this shit? The patron saint of masochism?
Trouble. I will stay here just in case.
Because that's capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. Shulin says calligraphy is like fencing, and I'm gonna have to disagree. Yes, both are about finely tuned movements, but one is fighting and one is writing. A better analogy would be to say that calligraphy is like poetry. It requires lyricism and grace in presenting its message.
I'm hardly lifting a finger at all. I'm not even thinking about it. My parents are arranging everything.
Arranged marriages.
Please, let's just be women. I would like us as sisters.
Sisters, sisters, there were never such devoted sisters.
Will I ever see a tree again?
What Kansas residents say every morning when they wake up somehow makes its way into this film. Who the f*** sends a message like this? We're about to find out this is a message asking for a meet-up. What if he'd been injured or killed by the flying implement?
Gone.
Are you sure? You don't want to look longer than a half second or maybe run after them?
Shulin, you see who's here.
Convenient lovers, that's what we are.
What I meant is I did not know it was stolen till I got here.
Then why did you...
If Master Lee would just tell Shulin that he wants to show her his green destiny, then this back and forth pointless conversation would end, and I wouldn't have to skip playing with your metal glove thingy. You want tetanus? Because this is how you get ants. I mean tetanus.
Not only is this Jade Fox a murderer, she's a rather unpunctual one.
I do hate murderers that are late for their jobs. I mean, what are we paying them for if not punctuality?
I will help you join her, you little slut.
I understand this is a dub, but according to the original subtitle, Jade Fox is calling the character a whore and not a slut. While the term slut was being used as early as the 1400s, the definition was initially an untidy woman and didn't take on any sexual inferences like whore until 1966. So, is this a scenario where I'm sending the crew member assigned with the task of dubbing? I'll let Vin Diesel take this one.
You're goddamn right it is.
Alfred Hitchcock's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Holy shit, this is the movie where the MCU learned how to cut fight scenes. Just a bunch of smash pans, blurs, and whooshy noises. Oh, she itsy bitsy spidered him. We interrupt this fight to exposit the entire backstory on Lee's revenge that led him here. Seriously, I think the brakes are smoking.
My name is Lee Mubai. The Green Destiny is mine.
Actually, Lee relinquished the sword to Surte, so it's actually his. And you might say that's petty, and I would like to extend a welcome to the channel to you. Thanks for coming. Golly, Mr. Lee, I think he's dead.
The best way to trap a fox is through her cub.
Or with a trap.
There's no need to fear Jade Fox if we're together.
There is.
Real skill comes without effort.
No, you're talking about talent. Skill is what you practice over and over to hone. Here we see the Jade Fox sneaking away the next morning and whoops, it's night again. Getting caught playing with your sword for all the some time.
But I must borrow it for one final task.
Taking back a gift.
She needs direction and training, but she is the most promising student I have ever seen.
Lee has seen her fight twice. Obviously, she's awesome, and we know she's awesome. But Lee seems too disciplined to have this much recency bias.
You shouldn't have come.
I mean, you were just kissing. I doubt he has yet.
Come with me, back to the desert. You'll be happy there.
Come with me, you'll be happy in the desert. That is a hell of a marriage proposal. But also, come with me, you'll be happy in the desert was A, the marketing slogan for the inaugural Burning Man festival, B, what Moses said to the Hebrews, C, what my college girlfriend said the first time she guided me into, or D, a spicy Albanian cola drink.
I got to wait for you! Gotcha!
What the f*** is this scene?
She's mine!
Claiming a woman.
Give me my comb!
Going to all this trouble for a comb. I know it might be meaningful, and I get it's the principle more so than the object, but I also know it's a f***ing comb. What the hell kind of cub was that? They're not even close to in the same position or at the same time of day. Not just any cave, but the luxury suite cave. Nice. Oh, cool. And he kidnapped her. Just want to mention this again. She ends up with this guy. How does she eat the chicken here without also eating her own hair strands? Seems physically impossible. I won't be needing this anymore. She's on a horse and then she's walking. Does that mean the horse died? Why did the horse have to die? Why, you dicks? Jen survives this. You tied her ankles and wrists, but why did you think that will be enough? You've seen her fight, right? She's super capable of either getting out of this or getting away despite these bindings. Even though she herself doesn't seem to think so, this is all very strange.
Relax. If I didn't mind what you're thinking, I'd have done it already.
Trying to comfort a woman you have kidnapped and tied up by telling her if you were going to sexually assault her, you would have already done it. This singing. Look, I don't care if he sings to help me echolocate his ass. I don't care how dirty I am or feel. I don't care about any of it. I am not getting naked in this dude's cave. Also, he said he managed to bring up enough water for a bath, but my god, man, how many fucking trips did you take? That bath appears to have hundreds of gallons. Do you have any idea how long that would take, even if the horse was helping? God, I do not need close-up footage of splinter removal. You go to hell. The movie is doing a lot of yada-yadaing here to make this love story fly. He kidnapped her and tied her up, and she just literally stabbed him. This is like Florence Nightingale syndrome, only, well, bloodier because of how she just stabbed him. But this is not love. I appreciate the movie's trying to make the guy charming, but this is some fucked up shit. I'm gonna show up at their wedding, and when the religious ceremony maker guy says, does anyone have any reason to believe these two should not? I'm gonna jump up and interrupt that motherfucker with a hell yes! Great, more shots of desert. This is basically Book of Boba Fett 21 years before Book of Boba Fett. The tub again. If you need to bathe that much, then move down by the water source, or just bathe in the water source like a normal person. Aren't you just a little conspicuous in these bright clothes? Not very far away, using a reflective glass viewer.
The army is looking for you.
I wasn't aware how much this low/gen backstory took up of the movie's runtime, but also the lingering shots, the slightly different and much more relaxed score accompanying parts of their journey, along with the stilted dialogue, really makes this feel more like a mid-90s independent drama that someone like Allison Anders would direct. Gas, food, and Crouching Tiger. I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's a weird transition that kind of halts the movie's energy for a good amount of time. Man, these two do it a lot. She hasn't seen her super secret boyfriend in years, so naturally she Encino-mans him into leaving for his own good. I'm afraid to play it for you, but just trust me when I say this band is terrible. It's like a middle school band performance where every member is playing off a different piece of sheet music. Gotta stay one jump ahead of the sword, guys.
Like my hand. Wasn't that real?
Rough and calloused.
You had me at hello, Lee. You had me at hello.
That is him.
I'm actually having an easier time believing these characters can train themselves to walk on air than I am believing that anyone thinks Jen is a boy.
But it is a lesson you shall have.
That escalated quickly. What is her plan here? Her boyfriend interrupted her parade and then fled with the help of Lee and Shu Lin. Then Jen steals the sword and basically forces this massive confrontation at a public bar brothel. Is she trying to find her boyfriend or draw out the local warlord?
Li Mubai himself spared you, and all you did was insult him.
It's about time this girl got a talking to.
All of you out. Bolt the doors.
Oh my, this fanfiction is writing itself. But also this fight scene is great. It's staged and choreographed well. It's shot and edited in a coherent manner. It's awesome. Is that thing made of gold? It's nearly indestructible, but gold is heavy as shit. What is this f***ery? These fights are fun, and I get why people love this movie. But I also think there is no way to actually understand who has the upper hand in any of these scenarios. It's honestly not all that different from a fight in an MCU movie, and that's a little depressing.
Put it down. It is Li Mubai's sword.
But it's not. It's Surte's sword. These characters have a hard time understanding gift-giving etiquette.
This ends right here.
Only the sword will determine that.
Really? If that's the case, what have any of these fights been about? Even if I'm willing to accept the walking on air ability, which I'm not, but even if I did, the trees weren't trained at Wudan, how is this thin branch holding Master Li up? But also, this kind of fight leaves it up to the trees and the wind as much as the fighters. Staring. Excitement? Look at this f***ing bullshit.
The white-cloaked ninja dances between the foliage of the Wudan mountain. And while this might look like a mating dance, it's actually something much more complicated. A movie.
What is it that you want?
What I have always wanted. To instruct you.
Always? He's known Jen for, what, a few days at this point? Get the f*** out of here with your always bullshit. Jade X fucks up. God, this movie is full of scenes where people are chasing someone and then they can't see them for a second and they immediately give up.
Li Mubai, let him take care of it.
They don't call him Li Mubai, the young woman killer, for nothing.
How did you get here?
We followed her after spotting her near the warehouse.
Oh no, that means, oh no, it's on. Dude's been talking about killing Jade Fox all movie. I guess I thought that when he finally did it, it would take longer than 20 seconds. What the f*** is this movie and why is it so f***ing beloved? I mean, you can't blame the dub on that scene. So, there was a dart he didn't or couldn't deflect? That directly conflicts with the entire rest of the movie. Darts are easy to deflect. Oh wait, is this supposed to be irony?
10 years I devoted to him, but you deceived me. You hid the manual's true meaning.
She didn't read enough of a training manual to her. Worst revenge motive ever. He says the poison he's been infected with will soon reverse the blood flow in his body, and that is some unbelievable bullshit in a movie with float-running ninjas. As Jen goes to find ingredients and the recipe for an antidote to the poison Lee is infected with, I'm left wondering why the movie spent half a goddamn hour on the love story between Jen and that f***ing desert dude with the fancy cave.
I have wasted my entire life.
Same, Li Mubai. Same. Kissing a dying person on the lips, thinking it will help because you've seen too many Disney movies. And trusting Bo with the safe return of the Green Destiny. I don't care if you promised me I'd be a better Jedi than Luke Skywalker. There is no training I would ever walk up this many steps for. God damn, they are going at it again. Is the movie going to end on these two making love? Wooden pillows.
Make a wish, Shao.
I really feel like this is kind of a cheat. She can fly.
Hattori Hanzo.
He's not on a tree, he's flying on rooftops.
If you surrender to us now, you will suffer less in the end. If not, consider this your execution.
Avengers!
Assemble.
You stole the secrets of Wudan's highest martial arts.
Prepare to die.
You killed a police officer. My whole family could be ruined thanks to you.
I could squash you like a bug right now. But I'm offering you a choice. Join me. Imagine what we could accomplish together. What the hell? You're gonna die of something. No, I don't want them to gain another yard. You blitz all night!
As you wish.
Come on, stop trying to hit me and hit me.